We're going to try to beat chimps with only two towers, the Mermonkey and Boomerang. We started off on Resort, placed our Boomer in the bottom left of the small square, and hit play. This guy can handle the first few rounds on his own, but to make it even easier, we upgraded him to a 002 as fast as possible. This gives him extra range, the ability to pop lead balloons, and gives him +1 damage. The last part is the most important, as 2 damage in the early game is quite a bit. Then we started working down his top path. Each upgrade in here lets his boomerangs hit more balloons per attack. We kept going until we made him a 302 Glaive Ricochet, which lets his boomerangs bounce from balloon to balloon instead of following a predetermined path. This crushed the next couple rounds, which are normally hard, and let us place a Mermonkey right next to him. We made the Mermonkey a 002 as it gives it seeking projectiles and camo detection, something that'll be super useful later on. With these two monkeys, we cruised through the next several rounds, saving up thousands of dollars. Now, we could have gone several different directions with this, but we opted for the Mermonkey's alluring melody. This distracts any balloons that make it to the Mermonkey, making them revolve around it for a short time. And the best part is that it can redistract the same balloon over and over if it's given the chance. So it's especially strong on a map like this where the balloons will travel past it a few times. This alone isn't enough though, because both these towers are weak to the round 40 Moab. So we had to save our money and upgrade the Mermonkey to a 004 symphonic resonance. This makes the song powerful enough to distract some blimps, lets you target where the balloons swirl around, and strips the camo property off distracted balloons. 3 things we desperately need. We were able to pick this up on round 36, and we targeted the shell around the Boomerang monkey. Finally, we upgraded it to a 204 for some extra attack speed on all of its attacks. This solves most of our blimp and camo issues, but we still need to do more damage if we plan on winning. So we upgraded the Boomerang to a 402 more glaives on round 39. This triples its attack speed, lets each glaive bounce to up to 80 balloons, and increases how far the glaive can bounce, an overall huge jump in popping power. And with this, we were able to pop the Moab. Normally, it would have traveled very far, but our song distracted it 3 times, letting the Mermonkey and more glaives attack it much more than usual, popping it before it even made it to the large loop. From here, we coasted all the way to 51 without any issues. Anytime we faced a group of camos, the Mermonkey would take care of it, and any large rush was countered by the Boomerang. But 51 was different. It was full of spaced out camo ceramics. While we had the tools to take them out, the first balloon managed to sneak through while the song was on cooldown and made it all the way to the exit, causing us to leak our first balloon of the run. It only took us 1 retry though, as we moved the song to be around the Mermonkey, and every camo ceramic was hit by the song, making them very easy to pop. The next tough round was 56. Another one full of camos. This time though, we had to face 40 camo rainbows, a significantly harder task. Luckily, we were less than $1,000 away from the Glaive Lord, whose orbiting glaives would wipe out this round no problem. Getting that $1,000 though was the hard part. It took a few tries, but eventually we moved the shell forward along the track a bit for its first activation, and while it was on cooldown, moved it back to the Mermonkey. This did so much better than normal that it actually popped every camo rainbow before we even bought the Glaive Lord. That being said, we did buy it before popping the Moab on this round. Now, all we had to do was move the song to revolve around the Glaive Lord, and he became an absolute unit. Normally, the Glaive Lord crushes on this map because the balloons have to pass by him and his orbiting rangs 3 separate times, but the song makes it even better, as now the balloons have to loop around him while looping around him, if that makes sense. I don't have much to say other than we walked through the mid-game. We just set the Glaive Lord to strong so he could break down the tankiest blimps while the song and rangs did the rest. Even the ZOMGs didn't stand a chance, and that's what this combo struggles against: single target damage. It's not the biggest issue because our Glaive Lord is okay against them, but it's definitely what this combo is worst at. But that brings us to the 90s, where the dreaded DDTs come. They're fast, camouflaged, and have the lead property. The first ones we see are on round 90, and they looked like they were just going to get right through us. But then the enchanting song got a hold of them, and they were erased faster than I could have imagined. This combo might be better than I thought it'd be. Heck, we even managed to get all 6 DDTs of round 93 stuck in the song before the fortified BFBs made it to that part of the track. So we had the song back up and running for them too, though I'm not sure we needed it. Round 94 was the first round that actually looked scary. What was nice about our setup though was that our towers were far enough away from the entrance that the BFBs and ZOMGs split up from each other, making them easier to pop. So by the time the green turtles made it to us, all the other balloons were gone. Then our Glaive Lord focused on breaking down this green layer while the song distracted everything they broke into, and the orbiting and bouncing glaives popped the rest like they have all run. But now we're on to round 95. the round that ends the dreams of so many 2TCs. We have to go through 30 DDTs layered on top of fortified Moabs. Talk about a doozy of a round. We tried several times, but it was clear that no matter where we placed the song, there were just too many DDTs for us to de-camo, and the orbiting rangs weren't doing enough damage to pop them without being able to see them. We were stuck. The only way out was to upgrade the Mermonkey to the Final Harmonic, but we didn't have the experience for it yet. I jumped into this run without all the upgrades unlocked, thinking the tier 4 would be enough. Oh well, nothing a little side mission can't fix. We hopped on over to Luminous Cave, where we started up a game of ABR. Here we use Sada, our free dart monkey, and basically only Mermonkeys to focus the XP. I won't go into too much detail, but after beating around 29, we had enough experience to unlock the tier 5 upgrade. So we hopped back over to our 2TC run, upgraded the Mermonkey to the Final Harmonic, and lost right away. The song still didn't have the pierce to handle all 30 DDTs. Interesting. I was hoping the upgraded song would be able to de-camo all of these guys no problem, but we do have a failsafe. This upgrade also lets us move the song anywhere on the map, not just inside the Mermonkey's range. It took quite a bit of testing, but after about 10 minutes we found the magical spot. If we put it right above the right beach chair, the song would be just in range to distract the DDTs, but nothing else. This would de-camo the first 9 or so DDTs, making them easily popped. Then, while the next few made it to the outer loop, the middle batch would trigger the song again, and it lasted long enough to distract the 2 that almost made it to the end. Finally, the song would trigger a third time and get the last of the DDTs before they managed to leak, and the Glaive Lord took care of the rest. Whew, round 95 is over. The next 4 rounds were absolutely free. Nothing made it to the outer loop as the Glaive Lord just popped everything as the Bloons were forced to revolve around it, and the song was now strong enough to affect ZOMGs. Not even the fortified DDTs on round 99 stood a chance. But then we are on round 100. The only thing that stood between us and a 2TC was the bad. And remember how I said this combo didn't have the most single target damage? Yeah, I was a little worried. But there's one more thing that the song does that I haven't mentioned yet. It makes all damage over time effects deal all their damage at once, which can be a huge nuke to the Bloons. And our Glaive Lord's main attack applies a shredding damage over time effect to the first Bloon it hits. This deals 100 damage every second for 15 seconds. And although the song doesn't distract the bad, it certainly applies the speed up as it went from healthy to almost popped in just a few seconds. I thought the bad was going to make it to the outer loop and threaten leaking, but somehow this was the easiest round in a while as we popped almost everything before they made it to the middle loop. But with that, we beat Chimps with only the Glaive Lord and Final Harmonic. The final pop counts were 1.93 million pops on the Boomerang and 111,000 on the Mermonkey. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and use creator code Hbomb when purchasing anything in BTD6. It helps me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.